Hey, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Let's try and finish up our main menu plugin here. So a few things we want to create here. So the first thing is I want us to be able to display an image here. And the second thing is if we go to the admin section here and we go to our main menu, we will see that we have this section for adding an image, which we are going to be showing, right? Even for the mega image here. Now, if we try and find where this file is, if I open this in another, you will see that it's inside, it's inside main menu, uploads, so it's in the right place. So this is good. That part is done, I guess. So how do we show our images, and then how do we order this content? And then let's add a drop down here as well. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is display an image. So let's add an image somewhere, and I want this to be on the, let's try this on one of these that doesn't have a parent, like my drop down, for example. So if I go on the edit this guy, click on image, then I can add any of these images. Let me just try this one like so and hit save. Okay, so what's going on here? Shouldn't this have shown something? No? Okay, so we are having problems here. My drop down. What is going on? Okay, so images are not uploading here for some reason. What about mega image? Let's see what's happening there. So if I try and save these. Oh, okay. Something weird going on here. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Let's try what's going on. Let's say contact us. Let's add an image here. So if I click on image, there we go, and click save, it didn't save. But let me try and find that image anyway. So let's go to inside the plugins. There's an uploads folder, and let's see if we, so this image was actually sent to the uploader, but it wasn't actually uploaded. So let me just delete that. Okay, so there's something weird going on here. So let's figure out what it is. I'm going to close all files that are active right now, and let's see here. If we go to the add controller or the edit controller, let's come back here a second. Okay, so what's happening here is that there's this image that is, okay, so first thing is first, we need to know what we're dealing with here. So while this is not empty, I know we're going to get to this point, and then there's an uploads folder here. Oh wait, do we actually do this in the add controller? This is another thing I should probably fix. It doesn't look like we are doing that in the add controller, which is weird. So we should copy some of this code to the add controller as well. Okay, so let's fix things in the edit first of all. So there's something going on here. So what I'm going to do is copy this. I want to see if the actual files are getting here. So at this point, I'll do this and then put die right there. That way we don't proceed from this point. I just want to see what's contained there. So I'll select this image that I had. So this only fails when I add one image. When I add both, it actually works just fine. So let me hit save. And this is what I see. So there's image 1 and image 2 is empty. So this is true. So image 1, image 2 empty. Okay, that seems about right. So let's come back here and do some more probing. So once we are done, we have post image and post mega image. So let me see which one of these two gets the actual data. So I'm going to copy that and paste it in here instead. And then let's move this guy down here. Let's see what we finally get in the end. So I'll refresh this and try this again. And we're going to see that inside this array we have, wait a minute. So we have image, rightly so, given the URL, but not mega image, which is true. So plugin main. So what is going on here? It doesn't look like there's a problem at all. So let's look closer. So I'm going to grab this, put it here, remove the die so that I want to see both information side by side. So I'm going to copy that, paste here. That way we echo the source, and then after the processing we need to know what we've done after that. So I'm going to come back here and let me refresh, resend. Okay, so let's probe here. The file name is this one, 5783. We know that the file is being uploaded quite well, so that's good. But you see the file name here that we have is very different from what we get here. This one has a _67 at the end here, which is not there on the original file name. So what's happening is that we are saving a file that we're saving a file name that does not exist. Even though we upload this particular file, we actually end up saving a different file name. So let me try and confirm this by, oh wait, it's actually confirmed right here. So why does the file change here? There's something concatenated to the end. So what we need to do is look for the if statement that adds that concatenation and see why it does that. So this should be inside the post data, because only after we get to here is when things change. And this is found in the upload file in the request class. So let's go to the request class here and let's look for upload files. And there it is. So there should be a part here that adds a random number to the end of the file name. So let me try and find, and this is where we are right there. Okay, so why does this happen? It says while file exists, destination, change it. Okay. Okay, so the file already exists. That's why this is happening. This seems fine. So what I'm going to do is delete the file from the folder itself. Let's do that, okay? And then let's try and refresh the page. Let's see if we are on the right track now. So resend. Okay, so now it's working as intended. So that was the issue. This looks so good. I can't see any problems with this at all. Okay, so back here, let me delete this. We've just uploaded one more time, and let's move on. Maybe there's something else we are missing here. So I will finally, let me remove die here. I'm going to copy this. So debug process is very, very important. As I always say, learning how to do this is very important. So let's look at the post data right before we update. So we are seeing what's happening here, and some stuff are removed, I guess, up to the end here. So let's take a look. I'm going to refresh and resend. Oopsie daisy. So things didn't work as intended, because it seems if user can edit menu page. So it seems we didn't go in here, right? Okay. That's very strange. We didn't validate that. So what is going on? Okay, so in a case like this, what I like to do is, let me make sure we die over here. Okay, let's do that over there at the end, outside the if statements. But if it does redirect, it means it got to this point. So what exactly is happening here? I'm confused. Okay, if it updated, it should have gotten here, and the die should have worked. Huh. What is going on here? Let's do this. So what I normally do when I can't figure out the problem is I put checkpoints like here, just so I know we go to this point, and here too, and then I keep adding these guys down the road like this. So did I get a message here? Okay, let's try and resend. Oh wait, did it show anything? No. Okay, let's try and resend one more time. What is happening? So here is not there. So we're not getting to those places either. Okay. So it would seem we're not getting past this point. Let me put 3 there. Let's see what's going on. So here 3 does show up. So it just means we are not getting past this point if we don't put 2 files. So which means, because this seems to be fine, I think it's this one. Files OK is not set. Okay, I think I've figured out what's going on here. So you see here files OK is true, right, which will allow it to pass even though we don't have files there because files are optional. But here it becomes false if there are any errors in there. So it means at some point this changes to false for some reason. So what I'm going to do to confirm that is I am going to echo out the files OK, but I'll use var dump because that shows me the data type as well. So let me refresh one more time and let's see what we get. And as you can see, it says false over here. So that's really what's going on. So we can fix that now since we know what the problem is. So I'm going to remove all of this stuff here. Okay. And then let's go down here and remove die anywhere we had put it, like here, for example. Okay, great. So let's see what changes if there are upload errors. So I think what's happening is this. Since we are uploading these files one by one, okay, what happens is when it loops through this file, it finds a file. So errors, there are no errors there. But if you noticed in the previous examples, just like we have here, we have this section that is empty. So it deals with this one first, which everything is okay and the file is uploaded. But then when it comes to deal with this one, the error is 4, which means file not found here in this case. So then it will throw an error, even though this should be optional. So then it negates what we had done here. But when we put 2 files here, there will be no errors because both files will pass just fine. So I guess that's where the problem is. So let's go back to our request class and fix that. So we want to check how errors are produced when a file is missing. So let me go down here and upload files is here, found is false, and let's see, where does upload errors come in? Okay, so here, right here we say error is greater than 0. In our case the error was 4, then this is generated. Okay, so that makes sense. Oh, invalid file. Okay, so all we need to do here is put 2 questions instead of 1. So we're going to say if this guy name, so let's go to name here. You see, when there's an actual file, name is never empty. Here, when there's no actual file, the error is there, but the name is empty, which means there's no file. So we should only care if the name has something, but the error is not 0. So to fix that, we're going to put name over here. So like this. If the name is empty and the error is greater than 0, then there was an error. Otherwise, we ignore that. I think that should solve the problem. So let's try and see. I'll refresh, but what I want to do is delete the old files first since we've been uploading files here, trying to fix the problem. Let me delete the same version of the file. I'll leave this one. Okay, so resend the data. Okay, that didn't fix our problem at all. Why not? Name is empty and the error is greater than 0. This should have worked. And continue. I think there's a version that this doesn't account for. So what I will do is this. Let me do this instead. Let me duplicate this guy like this. Okay. And let's remove what we've added here. So instead what I'll do is I'll just check for this one. If the name is empty, we shouldn't care at all. We shouldn't put this in here. Yeah, I forgot that the if statement we had added was ringing true even for... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this would have worked if we had put a not here, actually, like this. If that is not empty and an error is greater than 0, that's when we go here. But I think an even better version is where we check one by one. So I'll remove this and let's just check if the name is empty. We shouldn't proceed, because in the case that we have right now, this would still proceed to check for other things even though the name is empty. So when the name is empty, we should just assume to ignore this whole thing here. So I'll just put it like this. We don't need the curly braces in this case, and that should do the trick. So one final time, let's keep our fingers crossed, and I'll delete that file. Let's come back here, click on that, and let's load that file again and save. Okay, so now finally we have what we wanted. So let me go back here and let's make sure it is there, and there it is. Okay, cool. So now that we can upload our images very well, now we want to show them in the menu thingy here. But yeah, let's go to the view. So main menu, and let's go to view files. I'll remove this, close that uploads thingy. Let's go to the front end and menu over here. Okay, cool. So in this case, this is the part where we display our links. If not empty children, but this part right there is where the image will show. So that's the title of the thing. Okay, cool. But before the title, but inside the link, so let's do this and that and this as well. Okay, something like this. And then I want to just put an image here. So I'm gonna do this, img, like that. And before we even put a source, Actually, we can put a source with get image. Let's just put emptiness there. And let's put some styling here. We'll say style, and we will say something like width 50 pixels, height 50 pixels, and then object fit. Let's put cover so that the image is never stretched. Okay, so let's do that for all of them. So there we have it. We have images for all these items. And of course, let's put some classes here, database classes. Now, if you don't have classes here, you can just say, if you don't want to use Bootstrap classes, you can say border radius 50% to make it rounded. So we'll say rounded circle to make it round. Okay, so there it is. I think 50 pixels is a bit much, so let's change that to 45, like so. Okay, we're getting there. Actually, let's just change it to 4E, like this, 40 pixels. Okay, much better. Now, the only time we should show this is if for some reason, wait, the image should only show in an event where an actual image exists. So let's check for an image. We'll say if not empty. Okay, if not empty, what's this, link image, like that. Okay, so let's do this, and let's put PHP and say end if, like so. Okay, there we go. And also I have to put that link image here, like that. That way only the ones with images will actually have something to show. So there we actually get an actual image. Where is the other one that... Oh, there's contact us, so that one is only shows when we are logged out. So what about my mega? What's going on here? This shouldn't have an image. So it doesn't have an image. Maybe it has some text representing an image, but the file does not exist. So maybe instead of checking for not empty, we could put an and here for file exists as well, like that. Okay, so only when the file exists and stuff do we do that image thingy. And maybe if you want to add images on these as well, you could do that as well. But let me just make sure this works on the responsive view as well. So let me go down to responsive view here. Okay, so responsive view isn't doing so well. We don't get our... What's happening with our responsive view anyway? Okay, let me go to... let me right click here, view page source. Okay, all right, so our responsive view doesn't work very well, so we're gonna fix that. Now, to fix the responsive view, we're going to use Font Awesome. Are we already using Font Awesome here? Let's see, or not. Let me inspect here. Yes, we are. Okay, it's just that Font Awesome isn't loaded on the other side. So let me view page source here. We do have Font Awesome here running in the admin section, but not on the home page side. So if I do view page source, we don't have Font Awesome here. So in that case, what I'm going to do is go to the admin section. Where is admin? View. Let's see CSS here. Okay, so it has that in the CSS, right? So I'm going to open containing folder and copy that all CSS thingy In fact, I'm just going to copy the CSS folder and web fonts here. Oh wait, I may end up replacing what I don't want to replace. Anyway, it's not like I have any contents in my style.css here, do I? No, I do not. And let me check in the main menu as well if I have any styles in there, and I don't. Okay, so which means I can just copy the entire folder. So what I want to do, where is this? Okay, so if I go to basic admin in the CSS folder, I'm going to open that folder and go above, copy the CSS and web fonts, come out into plugins folder. Let's go to main menu, and inside assets I will paste here. Let me replace the destination. Okay, and then once I do that, because inside basic admin in the view, where is this, view, there is this code here that I created to load Font Awesome, so I'm going to copy that. Let's do exactly the same thing in the menu. So there's main menu. Let's find, we have Font Awesome in there now. And let me find the menu view. This is the front end menu view. Let's go to the top and right about here. We don't need this Google font import. Let me paste that there instead. Oh, so this is inside the styles.css, so I should paste outside it like that. Okay, so hopefully that sorts the problem. Let me refresh. It doesn't look like anything has worked, but let's do this. And now at least you can see that menu button over here because it's a Font Awesome icon. I'm sure this was mentioned in the template when we downloaded it, that it uses Font Awesome for icons, so you should look out for those things. So if I click on this, this is what I get. But if you notice that I don't get that image, right? On my drop down here, we don't have that image that we had on the main one here. So it means it shows different content on the mobile version than it shows on the desktop version. So I will copy this so that we can repeat that action there. So there's this mobile item here which is link title here. So if you notice, we are putting title twice over here and over there. So let's just repeat ourselves here as well. I will do this and do that like this, and then I will put my image on here like so. Alrighty then, so that repeats the image loading, and that means if I do this, I have my image there as well. Okay, so that is great. Our images are now showing, but I want to show the image of the current logged in user right now. So if you remember, the way we show drop downs here is to load children in the children section of the drop down. Like this drop down here has because this is what we are checking for. Let me show you here. If link children is not empty, then that's when we add the drop down, right? And is meg, it's not a mega thingy here, then we show this. So we just have to make sure that we do that. So let me go to where we're creating the logged in users item. This one, this menu item. This one is created in the basic auth plugin, if you remember correctly. So let's go to plugin, the plugin in there, and we're going to go to here, header before menu links, right? So this is where all this is created. The login button, the sign up button, and finally the admin button here, and then the hi with stuff here. So what we need to do right before we add this to links there, we should add a child. So I'm just going to tab inwards like this so that we know what we're doing. And I will grab this admin and log out should probably be together. So I'm going to cut these two boys here and paste them here. So a few things need to change here. let me tab. Just by tabbing them in like this does not make them children of this one. So we should make them kids of this one here. So what I would do in here, I will duplicate this and put children. So the moment we have that, it makes it a drop down. So you can also put the is mega and make sure it's set to 0, but just by not having it means it's empty. And this is why I used empty and not say link is equal to 0, because sometimes it may not exist, and if it doesn't exist, we just assume it's equal to 0. So let me come back here. So link children here should be equal to an array of children. So here I will set this to an empty array like that. Okay. So once I have it an array, I should put objects in there. So my objects should go in this one instead of the main links. So what I'll do here, I'll just do this and come here and do that. Okay, so link children, right? Now the problem is we're replacing the link variable here. So this is not cool. So what we want to do is change this one to link to. So let me go here and like that. Okay, so let me put a 2 at the end like that, because we want this to still exist while creating another link. So we want the parent to still be equal to whatever we put here and not reset it when we get there, right? So we create link 2 instead. It's okay to replace link 2 here because we would have added it already to the main link. So here instead of 2, we'll put link children is equal to link 2. So we design link 2 here and add it to this one. Same thing here, like so. Okay, so once we do that, it should already change things. So if I refresh, you see some stuff is missing because it's gone under here. So we have hi admin, and then there's admin and logout. We should probably put profile over here as well. Instead of having the profile be here, we should probably put it on the drop down. So what we can do is, since the slag is here, right? What I want to do is duplicate this. I will try here. Like so. And then change this to profile. And admin, no. The slag over here should resemble this. So I'll copy that and put it here. Now, depending on your system, instead of ID, you may want to put a slag there, depending on how you've created your system. So when logged in, that's true. And then here we just replace that with a hash symbol. That way it doesn't lead anywhere when we click on the main thing, unless we click on an actual menu item, drop down menu item. So here when I click on that, nothing happens. But when I click on this, it moves to something else. Okay, and then log out, and then admin here takes us to the admin area. So very, very good things are happening. But what about the image on the hi admin here? We need the currently logged in user's image, and that's as simple as adding an image here. So instead of icon, let's add image, or let's duplicate that and add image. So an image is easy to get. We'll just grab from the currently logged in information and we'll select the image over there like so. Okay, so session user like that. And now this creates an interesting problem, which I'll show you just now. If I refresh, you see that I don't see an image here because the user image does not exist. But there will be times when I want to show the image whether it exists or not. Okay? So in that situation, we should put a show image. Now you might want to just leave it like this if this is what you want to do, right? So you may want when there's no user generated image, or if it's empty, you want it to be empty like this and not show any image, or you may want it to show that no image thingy but still show it there. So that's up to you. If you want it to show, you can put another param here where you say show image like this, and then you can set this to 0 or 1, which represents true or false. I can put that to 1 right now to force that in case I need it. So I will go and have to account for this show image thingy. So let's go to the menu here. So whenever we are trying to show image here, we can do this. We can say link image, right? So I'll copy this part here, and what I'm going to do is, because this should work as one unit, so in here I will put brackets like that, but then put something else outside of this like so, and then put an OR key like that. So if not empty, link show image like that, then we force it to show the image. Whether the image exists or not is another issue. So I'll copy that and do the same thing here like so, and paste like this, and let's try this out. So I'm going to refresh, and as you can see now it actually shows the image here even though it doesn't exist. But when the user actually changes that in the profile settings to add an image, then we'll see a real image over here.